Hello and welcome to Intech Centre online tutorial. My name is Aida and I'll be guiding you through the functional skills maths level 2 online sample. To begin with, please note that this video is made for educational purposes only for Intech Centre customers and learners. In no way is this affiliated with City and Guilds, and we cannot guarantee that the answers provided are 100% correct. Now, if you would like to take a look at our website, we offer funded, private and exam preparation on it. If you'd like to get more information about the funded course, please do so on the tab here. We offer them in English, Maths, IT and Employability. Now, if you want to find out more information, you can do so by calling us on the phone number at the bottom or our email address. Also for private courses, just in case you are not eligible for the funded programs, you can go ahead and find out the information necessary in order to proceed with your steps towards sitting the exam. Also now we are going on to the exam page, the exam preparation, so that we can look at the sample paper number 2 at level 2. On this page you will find information about the exam preparation. Please do not forget to attempt the navigation tutorial at least a couple of times so that you familiarize yourself with the tools provided in order to create charts, tables and to draw on a scale diagram. Now I will be going on to sample test 2 so that we can look at it together, and I will be giving you the methods to answer the questions as well as the answers. Now on this we have been directed to the City and Guilds website, and you're now asked to enter your exam key code. As this is a demo, you don't have to worry about it at this time. You will be given one however in the actual exam, and once you will enter this, you click OK and then your details will be coming up. As I said, this is a demo, so generic information has been input. Make sure your details are correct. Just in case there's an error, do report this with the invigilator so that it can be corrected. And once you're happy with your details, you can click confirm. And now the exam instructions should come up. Here you can see your progress as well. So once you complete a question, your progress will be updated. General instructions: you may use a calculator, you can use a dictionary if you need it. There are 3 tasks to complete, and try to give each one of them a kind of an equal amount of time. Make sure you read your tasks carefully. The maximum marks available are shown at the start of each task, that is 25 marks per task. There are 3 main scenarios, and each one of them it's allocated 25 marks. Therefore, together it will be 75 marks. You have to show you're working out. It's not a must, but you may get marks for it. Make sure you check your calculations and that you put your answers in the correct spaces. Also, please do ask for pen and pencil and paper in the exam, as you might have to take notes. Also, this is the on-screen calculator. If you need it, please use it. Section 1, gym training. Again, 25 marks for this task. As part of the introduction, they are saying that the sports team is planning its annual budget. This task is about choosing a suitable gym and deciding on a subscription fee. To complete this task, you will need to work out how much money the team has to spend on gym training, compare the cost of the 2 gyms, work out the subscription fee each team member will need to pay, present your results, and recommend a gym to use. We have to also check our calculations and review our work. So last year the sponsorship money covered gym training costs for the sports team. The chart shows how sponsorship money was spent last year. So we have a pie chart here breaking it down for us on what the money was spent on. This year the sponsorship money, however, will be 15% less, so I would suggest you start with this bit before you move forward with your question. So let's find out what 15% of 10,480 represent. So we have again 0.115. Do not forget to divide, if you want to use decimal point in order to find the percentage, divide the 15 by 100 to get your decimal point. And now let's see how much that will be. So 10,480 times 0.15, and we get 1,000, a discount of 1,572. Now we will have to take that away from the original sum of 10,480 minus 1,572. Let's see what we get on the calculator. Okay, and the answer will be 8,908. So this is the new money they will receive for from sponsorship. Okay, and once we know this, we can move on to the next bit of the question, where it says work out how much money there will be for gym training this year. So now we know how much money they have in total. We look for gym training, which is the one with white, gym training. So that's, they are going to receive 26%, which is the highest amount out of all of them. And then after it will be physiotherapy. So we have 8,908 times 0.26. Again, we divide the 26 by 100. Let's see what we get. 8,908 times 0.26, and we get 23,016.08 pence. So this is how much money they will have for gym training. Now if we click next, we have question 2, and it says that the team members need to train every week and want to keep the same number of gym sessions they did last year. The table shows how many gym sessions the team members did each month last year. The average number of gym sessions each month. We have information on 2 local gyms. We have Bullish Gym and Jim's Gym. And they are saying that the weekly pass ticket price per person is $12.50, and it covers all areas of the sports center for a maximum of 12 sessions per week. Jim's Gym monthly membership includes a non-inclusive deal, $29.99 per person. It includes unlimited use of a swimming pool, weights room and fitness room. Sauna is not included, and that will be £2.50 per session. Right, now we have to find out the monthly gym training cost for the team. So let's start with Bullish Gym. First, let's figure out whether these team members do more than 12 sessions per week, so that we know whether Bullish Gym will be suitable for them at all. Right, so for example, Alex does 17, 37 with 8. Let's use the calculator. So he does 45 sessions a week. Okay, divided by 4 weeks. He gets to do 11.25 sessions per week. Now we have Sam, who has 20, 30, 48 sessions divided by 4 weeks. Exactly 12 he does. So we have 48 divided by 12, sorry, by 4 equals 12. We have Chris, who does 13 with 20, 33. With the 9 we get 42 divided again by 40. I forgot what I said. 6 plus 7 plus 20 plus 9, we get 42. So 42 divided by 42 divided by 12, we said we had, not by 12, divided by 4. So 42 divided by 4 is 10.5. So he does 10.5 roughly per week. Pat does on average, let's see, 24 plus 16 plus 8, we get 48. Divided by 4, we have it above is 12. So they all meet the criteria of completing a maximum of 12 sessions per week. Right, now we have to find out the cost of the gym for the team monthly. So if they pay $12.50 per week, per month it will be £50. Okay. And then because it's 4 people, we will have to do 50 times 4, 200. So for one person per week, per month will be £50. And then for 4 people per month, it will be 200 quid. Now let's move on to Jim's Gym. Jim's Gym has a cost of $29.99. Let's find out for 4 people the cost. Find that calculator. So we have 29.99 times 4 and we get 119.96. Now don't forget that the sauna is not included and they are doing sauna. How many sessions? 20 sessions, 29, 37 sessions. So together they are doing 37 sessions of sauna, which at £2.50 per head, it will be 37 times 2.5, it will give you 92.5 plus the 119.96, it will be the total cost of 212.46. So 119.96 plus 92.5 will give us 212.46. And that's the cost for Jim's Gym. Perfect. Right, next question is question 3a. The team members agree to each pay the same small monthly subscription fee to the sports team to help cover gym costs. Use your answers to question 1 and 2 to work out for each gym the difference between the sponsorship money for gym training this year and the gym training cost for this year. So this one, it's a bit confusing, so make sure you read carefully what they're asking of you. We'll start with that and then we'll go back to the subscription fee. So the difference between the sponsorship money, so we have to find out how much money are left over, if it's gonna cover the cost entirely. Let's see what we are going to get. So our sponsorship money for the year was 316.08. So these are our sponsorship money. And let's go back to question 3. Right, so now we have to figure out the gym training cost for the year. For Bullish Gym, we know it's 200 per month times 12 months is gonna give us 2,400 per year. Now we can do the what do you call it? The difference. 2,400 minus 2,316.08, and then we'll find out the difference between the two. So we have 2,400 minus 2,316.08, and our answer is 83.92. So that is the difference for Bullish Gym. Now the other one, is for Jim's Gym, which, so let's put here bully so that we know the difference. Bully's Gym, and then we have Jim's Gym. And his cost was 212.46 from what I recall, times 12. Make sure you write this down so that you don't have to go back and forth all the time. This applies to the exam, especially because you don't want to waste time. So we have 2,549.52, and let's find the difference. 2,549.52 minus the 2,316.08. 2,316.08 will give us a difference of £233.44. 233.44. And now we have to find out the subscription. It says that the subscription fee each member will need to pay per month. So now we know that from our calculation this was per year for both of them, and then we subtracted the sponsorship money per year, which means that the sums we have here are again per year. Therefore, we have to do 83.92 divided to 12 months, and then we divide it to 4 people, because that's how many team members we have in the team. So 83.92 divided by 12 months divided by 4 people, it will give us a cost of 1.75. You can round it up in this case. We have 1.75. £1.75. Now we will go on to Jim's Gym, which is 233.44 divided again to 12 months and to 4 people. We have 233.44 divided by 12 and divided by 4. And we have a cost of £4.86 that each member has to pay. Now you can round for both answers either to £2 and £5, but you can also keep the answers you have from the calculator. Now the next question, question 3b, is asking us to check one of our calculation in question 3a. We have to check it by a different method to the one we used originally. I would suggest you use the reverse method. You could use the subtraction, you could use the division, whichever one you think is suitable for you or is the easiest to do. So I will pick the Jim's Gym 233.44 minus 2,300, sorry, plus 2,316.08, we should get as an answer 2,549.52. Let's check this. 23.44 plus 2316.08. It will give us 249.52, just as I said earlier. Perfect, and this is 2 marks for you, so very easy. Make sure you do it. Don't try to explain anything to them in this question, just write your check as you can see here. Remember that subtraction reversed is addition, addition reversed it will be subtraction. Same thing with multiplication and division. Now if we click next, let's move on to question 4. In question 4, we need to make a notice for the team notice board to show the 2 options. We have to make a table to summarize the results and to show the 2 gyms, their cost, the sponsorship budget for gym training, and the cost for subscription. Now we need all the results to hand so that we can create the table. Let's make it bigger, as I always say, so that we have enough space to present our results. So you could leave the first box on the left blank so that you can put the name of the 2 gyms next to it, so that we can easily present our results. Gym's gym. First one, it will be the cost per year of the gym. For Bullish Gym, it was 2,400. Do not forget to put in the pound sign because you're dealing with money and you want to make that clear. And then for Jim's Gym, we have 2,549.52. The next thing we have to put is, we've done the cost. We will put down the sponsorship budget, which is 2,316.08 for both of them. So if you insert this, you can Control C, copy, and then Control V, paste, so that you save a few seconds. Now we have to put down the difference, and they want the cost of subscriptions. So let's put down the difference, which is of 83.92 for Bullies and 233.44 for Jim's Gym. And subscription per month, it will be £1.75 and £4.85. Let me go back and check. 86 pence. But as I said, you can round it up to 5. Either way is correct. Perfect. And this is your table. Everything is covered in it now. We can move on to the next question. Question 5. Again, it's 1 mark. Which gym will you recommend the team? Explain your decision. So I would recommend Bullish Gym because it's the cheapest. Cheapest option. Perfect. Question 6. We were asked to recommend a gym and decide on a subscription fee. We need to think about how well we did the task. We have to make 3 comments. Make sure you use the prompts given. For example, any other information you would have liked. You could say that you would have found it useful to know if the same percentage apply to training this year as last year, because we had to assume it was 26%. They didn't say whether the pie chart at the beginning was the same for this year and last year. Next one could be, my answers were sensible because I chose the cheapest option. I chose the cheapest option. That is one. The second one, my methods worked. I keep on putting capitals. My methods worked because I had 2 amounts to compare. Or you could say something like the method I used, working out how many sessions together for each person, how many sessions each person used for the whole week, and it helped me to see that Bullish Gym would work. It's a bit more confusing, but they accept that as well. I found it difficult to decide if 1 year should be months or weeks for Bullish Gym. So this is what we are going to put down as well. So I found it difficult to decide Actually, you know the bit where you had to calculate the cost per month, maybe they should have been a bit more clearer whether you should have used 4 weeks or 4 weeks and a half. So you could say I found it difficult to decide whether they consider the month as 4 weeks or 4 weeks and a half. So there's more ways to look at it. The last one, things you might do differently if you had to tackle a similar problem. You could say I might work out the sponsorship for 1 month instead 1 year if I was to do this again. But you could stick to the 3 main ones. My answers were sensible because I chose the cheapest option. My methods worked because I had 2 amounts to compare. I found it difficult to calculate the percentage. Why not? I found it difficult to calculate the cost of the Jimmy's gym with the sauna sessions. So go ahead and think about it, of what you actually struggled with. Now, section 2, it's about a fish farm. This is our second scenario. There are again 25 marks for the task. The task is about adding new tanks, rearing tanks, to breed fish on a trout fish farm. To complete the task, you need to work out the volumes of water required, the weight of fish, the dimensions of the rearing tanks, and where the tanks can fit. You will need to check your calculations. Right. Now, let's start with question 1. It has 5 marks. Make sure you use the formula fully. So, we have a fish farm, needs some new rearing tanks, we already knew that, and we need to know how much water one rearing tank will hold. And the formula here will allow us to find out how much water that is. We have pi. I can't put pi on the keyboard, but I'll go ahead and just convert the letters to numbers straight away. So we have v equals to 3.14 times radius squared. The radius is right here, right? It's 1.8. The diameter is double the radius, yeah? Just so you remember. 1.8 times 1.8. Remember, when it's squared, you times the number by itself. You don't times it by 2. Please do not make that mistake, as it will affect your whole calculation. Times the height. The height is 1.5. And let's find out how much that is. Also, if you make a mistake here and you apply your calculations from here onto the next question, but you apply the correct method, it won't affect your answer. So please attempt the questions to the best of your knowledge. 3.14 times 1.8 times 1.8 times the 1.5 height. And we have an answer of 15.2604 meters cubes. Now, underneath the formula, they are telling us that 1 meter cube is the equivalent of 1000 liters. So we have to convert the meter cubes to liters, because this is what the question is asking in liters, yeah? Times 1000, and it will equal to 15,260.4 liters. So you can just put this down in your answer box. Now, as we are done with this question, we can move on. Let's make a note of the answer so that we don't forget it. So we have 15260.4. Okay. In this question, we will need the previous answer. So there will be 3 rearing tanks. They are telling us that healthy fish need 1 liter of water for every 10 grams they weigh. Young trout weigh between 100 and 250 grams. We have to work out the maximum number of young trout you can have in 3 tanks. We have to give one reason for the answer. So we know that in one tank we have 15,260.4 liters. Let's find out how much water we have in 3 tanks. 15260.4 times 3, and we will have 45,781.2 liters. Now from this we have to figure out how many fishes will fit in these 3 tanks. I will start by breaking the question down. They are telling us that a healthy fish will need 1 liter of water for every 10 grams they weigh. So we know that 10 grams of fish need 1 liter of water. Now, young trout weigh between 100 and 250 grams. You can pick either 100 to work with or 250, depending on what you think your trout would weigh. You can also pick 150, you can pick 200, because you have the option to pick any number between 100 grams and 250. So we could go with the 250, with the heaviest trout, and we have to find out how much water will that fish need. So we know, so let's put here, we don't know how many liters of water, but we would LW equals to 250 grams. Now, knowing that 1 liter has 10 grams, can hold 10 grams fish, we would do 250 divided by 10, and we will find out that a 250 grams fish will need 25 liters of water. Knowing this, we can take the amount of water we have in the 3 rearing tanks, so 45,781.2 divided by the 25 liters. Let's see how many fish we can fit in that water. 45,781.2 divided by 25, we get 1,831.248. So we will have a maximum of 1831 because there wouldn't be space for the rest. Now a reason would be I use the heaviest weight to allow enough room for the fish to grow, for example. Or a maximum number is when they're the smallest, so I use 100 grams fish. Either way is correct, so we'll go with the first one because we use the heaviest. I decided to use the 250 grams fish so that it allows for room for the fish to grow. It could be a variation of these weights. They won't all have the same weight, but the idea is you know how to calculate how many they will fit in. And always the idea with measure shape and space is that you, knowing how much space you have to figure out how many of objects, of animals, whatever it is, that will fit in that space. So make sure you divide the space you have to the measurement of the object or whatever it is that you have to find out. Fresh water will be pumped into each rearing tank from the river on the farm. The water must be filtered and pumped at a rate of 1,200 liters per minute. The temperature must be controlled to between 5 Celsius degrees and 15 Celsius. So this question has 4 marks and we have to test some pumps. We have to record how long it takes to fill up a 900 liter barrel with each pump. So you start through elimination. The idea would be this. They said that the tanks have to have, the temperature must be controlled, so we definitely need temperature control, which means that Magnum 400 it can be considered to be a suitable pump. And the next one, filter. B speed heavy duty doesn't have a filter and it needs to have a filter. Same with high flow M, it definitely has to have a filter. So our only options are B speed flow A and Magnum 250. Now let's find out which one is the suitable one. So we could start by looking at B speed A. We know that it pumps 900 liters in 50 seconds. So we have 900 liters equals 50 liters equals 50 seconds. Now we have to find out how many liters per second it pumps. So we do 900 divided by 50. Let's see. And we know that it's 18 liters per second. Now we need to find out whether you can pump 1200 liters per minute. So we know that 900 are pumped in 50 seconds. Let's find out how long it will take for the rest, 300 liters from 1200. It will take for them to be pumped. So we do 300 divided by our 18 liters per second. Let's see what we get, how long it will take. It will take 16.6 seconds. Plus the previous 50 seconds for the 900 liters, it will take over a minute for the water to be pumped. Therefore, this is not suitable. Okay? So now we know that this one is not good either. Let's find out whether a Magnum 250 will be suitable. It looks like it will be because it's the only one left. But we still have to show our calculation because it says explain your choice of pump with supporting calculations. So our calculations should determine which pump is suitable. Now again we have 900 liters that equal to 45 seconds this time. So we do again 900 divided by 45 divided by 45. We get 20 seconds, 20 liters per second. Now again, from 1200 we know that 900 are pumped in 45 seconds. The rest would be 300 liters divided by the 20 liters per second. Let's see how much that would be. (300) divided by 20. So we have 15 seconds it will take to pump the 300 liters, and if you do 45 plus 15 it will give us 60 seconds. So yes, Magnum 250 will definitely be suitable as it can pump the 1200 liters in 60 seconds. So our explanation would be, we start with the fact that the pump must have temperature control as well as a filter, sorry, and also that it pumps 1200 liters per minute. So Magnum 250, okay, it has temperature control, a filter, and can pump 1200 liters per minute. Therefore, which meets the criteria actually. And this is it. This is question 3. And that's how you would get full marks. Okay, let's move on to the next one. There is question 4a. It says that there is a space on the farm where the new rearing tanks can go. You need to find out if this space is large enough. Below is a scale diagram of the farm. We have the trees, the river, the farmhouse, the space for tanks. We have a scale of 5 boxes or 5 centimeters, 5 squares, however you like to look at them or call them, equals to 50 meters. So make sure you put that down. So 5 squares equal to 50 meters, which is all good. Now we have to work out the dimensions of the space for rearing tanks. They're asking us to find out A. Now, knowing that 5 boxes, if you count the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's 50, you would assume that 50 divided by 5 will give you 10. So every one box will be 10 meters. So A will be 10. So 50 divided by 5 equals 10 meters per square. And then A is 2 boxes, 2 times 10 is 20 meters. So here we'll have 20. B, instead of taking your time to write all of these and show you of working, you could just go ahead and for B you have 1, 2 boxes. So again 20. C, it's 10, 20, 30, 3 boxes. D, it's clearly 10 meters because it's only 1 square. E as well 10 meters, as well as F, another 10 meters. So this was question 4A, 2 marks. It was an easy question, which is why they gave lower marks. Question 4B, it has 2 marks. We need to show a check of how we use the scale in question 4A. We have to explain how you know that one of the answers is correct. So we can pick again, we can pick A, B, whichever one we want. So if we pick A, we know that 5 squares equals to 50 meters. And we also know that A has 2 squares, which equal to 20 meters. Perfect. What else is there? In the actual exam, please make sure you don't write meters. Make sure you put M because you wouldn't have the time to write the whole word. Same thing here. Make sure it's M. Okay? Just like I did here. You're trying to save your time for the questions themselves. So question 5, 3 marks. Each rearing tank needs a fence around it. Below is a sketch of a rearing tank with a fence. Sketch of fenced area for one rearing tank, not to scale. So the tiny lines that are interrupted is the fence. We have the rearing tank inside. They gave us the diameter of the rearing tank. We have to work out the dimensions of the fence. So it has nothing to do with the area of the circle, the area of the shape. Don't go to area, they want dimensions. So they gave you the inside of the shape, which is the same with the bottom and the top. So we will go by finding out the length first. So this is our length. The middle represents the length as well. So everywhere is the length, right? So wherever these lines would be or whatever the dimensions would be, you would have to go by them. So we know that from here, the bottom to the rearing tank, we have 3 meters. Again, from the rearing tank to the fence on the other side, we have another 3. So that's 6. And now we have to use the size of the diameter to find out the total dimension of the length of the fence. So we said we have 3 plus 3 plus the 3.6, the diameter of the tank, which will be 9.6. This is for the length. As this is a square, it will give us the same number, but just to be sure, again we have 3 there plus 3.6 there on the inside plus 3 will give us 9.6 meters. And question 5 is finished as well. Now if we move on to the last question in the second part of the online sample paper, we have question 6. We have to use our answer from question 4A and question 5 to work out where the new rearing tanks will go. We have to place a cross on the diagram to show where each of the 3 tanks will go. So we'll use the X to show where the tanks will go. So I will show you how you decide where to put the tanks. And then they ask you whether it's possible to fit more tanks in the space. We know that is 9.6 the width of the fence, and then another 9.6 on the length. So all sides are almost 10 meters. We know that one of our boxes is 10, so we can put one of them there, another one next to it, so they have enough space, and then the third one right here. So we have space, enough space for the tree, and it looks like there's two more spaces for two extra tanks. Is there space for more tanks? Yes, there is. And our explanation, it says that you would have to say yes, and that there is room for two more tanks. And that is it. This is how you show your work, and that's how you explain whether there is or there's not any more room. But you can clearly see that there is room for the two extra tanks. Now we are done with the middle question. We will go on to section 3, the last part of the sample paper, which covers handling data, and it's about a bowling team. There are 25 marks for this task, a lot of teams in this sample paper. You should check all your work as you go along. In this task is about choosing players for a bowling team. To complete the task, we will need to work out the averages and ranges, present results, read data from a graph, and decide which players will be in the team. And then we can't forget about checking our calculations. The bowling team is made up of 3 players for each match. You must select the players for the next match. The table shows the scores of 4 players over the last 10 matches. Now, in the first one, we can see Jack here. He's done all of the 10 matches. He's gone through them. We can pick the mean or the median, whichever one you think is more suitable. You can go ahead and pick that one. I don't know which one to do. I usually do both, but in this case I think I will go for the median maybe. Let's see. So for the median, we will have to put the data in order. We have 170, we have 180 2 times, we have 185 once, we have 193 times, and we have 100. No, we have finished with 100. We are moving on to 205, and after 205 we have 210, and the last one is 215. This is for Jack. And our median will be 10 divided by 5. So 5 is the 5th value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will be 190. So don't go by the match table. Make sure you go by the numbers we've put in order. Next one down, it will be Jody. She's only done 6 matches, so we'll only put those down. We have an 184, we have an 180, then 184, we have 109, we have 120, wow, lower, 120, 180, 184, 190, 195, 200. So these are our 6 values, and 6 divided by 2 is gonna give us 3, so is the third value 106. Hold on. We have 6 numbers plus 1 7 actually. So 1 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 190, that's fine. So we would do 6. Let's do it underneath so that we show it. We have 6 numbers plus 1 is going to give us 7. 7 divided by 2 is going to give us 3.5. So the value that we'll have to find is between the third and fourth number. Let's go back to the calculator. We have 184 plus 190. It will give us 374 divided by 2. It's 187. Okay, then we have Alan, and we'll put 104, 104, 140, 142, 150, 160, and 175. And then we have again 7 numbers in this case. So we have first with last 1, second with sixth down, this one down is 142, or what we will do, it's also 7 plus 1 equals 8, 8 divided by 2 equals 4. So the fourth value is 142. Make sure you use the formula, otherwise you might end up making mistakes in the actual exam. Karen has 160, her lowest, 170, 175 twice, 180, 225, and 230. And we have 2, 4, 6, 7 again. The number again will be the fourth value, so 175 is the answer. And as an explanation, you could say I used the median as it excludes the extreme values or the lowest and highest values. Perfect. So this question is done as well. We can move on to the next one. Using our answer to question 1, we have to draw a suitable chart to compare the average scores for each player. We can go with a bar chart, which is completely fine. A line graph or pie chart or table wouldn't work for these values. They wouldn't be suitable to show your answers. So our answers from the first questions is the median. We had 4 of them because we have 4 players again. Let's edit the axis, and our highest value was 190. That's what we are going to use. And the lowest we can put it 130, for example. Let's try something new. We click show numbers so that we can see what numbers we are putting on the left. I like the 142 because we have it, but we don't have the rest clearly shown. So let's try to break it down some more. We have the 142. We need the 175, it's somewhere there. 187 somewhere there, and 190. Let's try breaking it down even further. This looks good. Let's try some more. Oh, this is even better. So it's showing us clearly where the answers would go. Now the first person we have is Jack, which is 190. He seems to be the highest. The second one is Jody with 187. The third one is Alan with 142. And the fourth one is Karen with 175. And then let's click add key, and here we could say average scores of each player. And we'll add 4 key items. We'll edit the first one with Jack's name, and let's change the color to blue. The second one would be Jody, and the color would be yellow. Third one, it will be Alan, and we can put a orange. And for Karen, we can put a green. Don't forget to apply and then click OK so that you don't lose your inputs. Okay, yellow. So now we are coloring the bars to represent the correct team players. Karen is green. Perfect. Or you can also use a text tool, and you can put it even inside, and then you could say Jack. Okay, so either way is correct as long as you are telling us who is whom. We have to work out the range of scores for each player. We have to complete the table. Now the range is quite easy in my opinion. So we have for the first one 215 minus the 170. So 215 minus 170 will give us 45. The next one is Jody, and she has a 200 minus a 120. Now our range is higher. 200 minus 120, it's 80. Next one we are going to look at is Alan, who has a 175 minus a 104. 175 minus 104, which gives us 71. And then we have Karen with 230 minus 160. 230 minus 160, it will be a 70. So we have here 71 and 70. 230, 160, that's fine, correct. We can move on to explaining the results and what they tell us about the scores of the 4 players. So we'll start with Jack because he has the lowest range, which means that he shows the most consistency. Jack has the lowest range, which shows the most consistency. The other 3 players have high ranges that show variation or less consistency. Question 3b, 2 marks. We have to choose one of the calculations in 3a to show a check. So we look at the last calculation. We have 70 plus 160 equals to 230. And I put it in the wrong place. Let's copy this and move it down. So we cut and we paste. Control V. This graph shows the performance of each player. This is question 3C. It has 4 marks. We have to look at the trend lines and compare Jack's performance over the 10 matches with Jodie's performance and explain what the trend lines tell us. We have to make 2 comments. So we can say for the first comment that Jack's scores are more consistent than the other 3. Oops, sorry. I was thinking of the range. We can say that Jack and Jodie hold on, let me think about this. Over the 10 matches, obviously Jack has improved, so we can say Jack and Jodie are both scoring good. Their scores are going up. And for the second comment, we'll say that Jack is scoring more. His mean is higher than Jodie's anyway. Now we have to compare Alan's performance over the 10 matches to Karen's performance. We have to explain the trend lines, what the trend lines tell us. We have to make 2 comments. So if we look at Alan and Karen, Alan is blue. He's going up. He started at the bottom, we could say. And then Karen started very well and then has decreased. So here's what we can say. We can say that Alan and Karen scores are going down. Alan's scores are going up. However, Jodie's scores are going down. And the second comment would be that Alan's scores better than Karen. So he scores better than her. He has better scores. Looking at all the information and the results we have to decide which 3 players will be in the team for the next match. We have to explain the decision for each player using the trend line question 3C and either the average question 1 or the range question 3A. Jack, yes. Jack has the highest average. And the most consistent scores. Jodie, yes. She has the second highest average and improving. Now Alan, we could say no, because he started really low. You could say because his performance is below the others and he has the lowest average. Let's double check that so we don't say something wrong. Yes, he does have the lowest average. Okay, and then Jody, yes. Um, she has Jody. She has the, let's see her mean again. Karen, second highest, third highest, we could say. Actually, say she has a high mean, because she's just right after Jody, and Alan is the last one. She has a high median, and her performance has been excellent when she in her first matches. Been excellent in her first matches. Perfect. I'm a bit tired, which is why I keep on making these spelling mistakes, and I have to keep on going back and forth. I apologize for that, and let me remind you that in the actual exam you might not have to explain yourself as much. Try to relate to the question, make sure you relate to the mean, mode, median, and that you show the Chekhov calculations. Make sure you cover all the easy questions and leave the hardest ones for last so that you can allow more time to think about them. I wish you good luck in your actual exam, and hopefully you won't have to sit it more than once and you can score enough to pass. Good luck, and I hope this is helpful. Thank you. Bye.